Welcome back to Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. My name is Crow, and today we have a bit of a problem. Larry has a massive issue. His wife, Helga, has gone missing, and he's on a quest to figure out who has stolen his love of his life. And his first journey has taken him here to the tribal faction. The chieftain, who is hiding here amongst his warriors, might know where to find Helga. But the problem is the chieftain is protected by all of his armies. The gatherers are out in the woods collecting all the resources they need for war, and they are protected on all sides by very strong and very powerful warriors. To defeat such an army, to get to the chieftain, Larry is going to need a lot of help. So Larry is called upon his father-in-law. Bjorn is here, and with him, he brings his armies. Bjorn has been very busy working on his troops, training them to be the best possible. You have all sorts of new troops, brawlers, marauders, Huskari, and these awesome Warhammer units. And don't forget the Ice Archers, they are phenomenal. In go the armies of Bjorn, Larry taking up the rear, Ice Archers moving in, and in goes all of the gatherers, all of the amazing warriors as the weapons fly and they lunge in. Check out this fight. Look at this, is so awesome. I love these new units. I love the Raptor head units. They are phenomenal. But be very, very careful. You do have a Necromancer here in the back, and I wonder what he's going to do. It seems that Bjorn's units are doing a fantastic job taking care of these tribal warriors. The tribal warriors are fighting a very strong fight, but they don't seem to be a match for the giant Warhammer units, whose giant hammers peek up over the sky and take out their opponents. Bjorn strikes down this one unit, and Larry begins to throw in his bomb support from a distance. The tribal warriors have won the fight on the front, the Necromancers summoning dead tribal warriors to the fight. In goes Bjorn to distract the units while the Ice Archers take care of everything from a distance. Larry throwing in his healing potions, trying to add bomb support to the fight as Bjorn is knocked down. Now we have skeleton warriors. Will these ranged units be enough? But no, the summoner, the Necromancer has summoned even more skeletons. That might be over. This fight might be over. Larry is knocked down. The Ice Archers are knocked down. They're not getting their answers today. In the end, the Necromancer was too powerful and Larry could not get any answers. Devastated by their loss to the tribal leaders, Bjorn and his armies have marched straight up to King Philip's castle, looking for answers. Hidden safely behind his knights, King Philip only hopes that his peasants, who live in the village nearby, can survive the onslaught. Larry's beginning to feel guilty. Do all these innocent people need to die? But to find his beloved wife, Larry's willing to do anything. The battle begins, the knights and the squires lunging into the melee lines of the Viking warriors. King Philip in himself trying bravely to fight these hordes back. But very few factions can survive the onslaught of the Ice Archers as they fire deep into the peasants' ranks. Look at the poor peasants. They're trying so hard to fight, but these berserkers are brutal. King Philip destroyed. His armies annihilated. And now all that's left are the peasants standing in the way of victory for the Vikings. Larry was distraught. They killed their opponents too quickly, and King Philip's silence is now going to last for forever. Unable to get answers from the dead, his quest moves on. Larry's search has brought him to the Pirate King. And the Pirate King screamed across the expanse, "Your wife is not here, your love is not here, but I do know who has taken her." The Pirate King began to chuckle. "It was the ancient gods," he says, "who stole your wife and converted her to one of their own." Larry refused to believe this. The ancient gods were on his side. Why would they steal his wife? In the end, he didn't have a choice. All those cannon shots. In go the armies, in on the pirates as the harpoons continue to steal the units. The Pirate King moving in, taking shots with his dual blunderbusses, and the captains fighting in with their shotguns. But the melee units, these amazing warriors of the Vikings moving in, the Pirate Queen, the Pirate Captains, the Harpooners. I don't know if they're a match to defeat all these brave, amazing melee units. Bjorn himself entering the fray, going after the Pirate Queen, who's ready to use her bomb move. No, the Pirate Queen is done, and now there is only the Pirate Captain, the Pirate God himself, here to fight against all these units. Larry throwing his potions in. Bjorn on the Pirate King. Who's going to win? Bjorn's chosen warriors in tight on the Pirate King. One Warhammer unit, but in the end, the Pirate King was not powerful enough to defeat the Viking armies. Quickly, Larry rushed to the world of the ancients to confront Zeus, Apollo, and Ares himself, only to find a weird woman with wings behind them. Larry was shocked. The ancients, using their amazing powers of gods, have converted Helga into a beautiful Valkyrie. But there was only one problem. the gods stood between Larry and his beautiful Helga. In go the Viking armies ready to attack, ice arrows being launched, but the gods are ready to go, ready to fight. Apollo using his bow and arrow, taking shots at the Vikings. Zeus blasting the Vikings apart with lightning, doing crazy damage. And Ares, god of war, ready to close the distance and use his amazing glowing swords to brutal effect. Ares in amongst the melee units, causing death, destruction, and mayhem. Zeus surrounded by Vikings, but using his lightning to great effect. And Apollo stuck, confused by Larry's potions, unable to take shots with his bow. The Vikings have moved in. They're ready to go. Zeus has been dropped by the Viking armies. Apollo is surrounded, but the Vikings were victorious. But at what cost? Helga was nowhere to be found. Her body has gone missing. And there's only one explanation for something like that to happen. Larry had been tricked. His wife was not stolen. His wife Helga was killed. She is now part of the undead army, an undead Valkyrie standing beside her new master, the Reaper Death himself, ready to face down Larry and his opposing army. In go the vampires, berserker jumping into the melee themselves, pumpkin cannonballs being launched, and there is Helga in with the enemies, attacking for what was once her Viking brothers and sisters. As the battle begins, Odin himself, hearing the call of his favorite champion, decides to join the battle with his mighty lightning spear. Death himself is fighting the Vikings, surrounded on all sides. In goes the Warhammers. Death has died, exploded in a fiery black hole explosion. The armies of the Vikings move forward and vanquish the last of their foes. In the end, Larry was not happy. There was no joy in his face, whereas Helga had been lost for forever.